we rolling. They see me rolling.
They hating, controlling, thinking, riding dirty.
Trying to catch me riding dirty.
Trying to catch me riding dirty.
All right. We're back on the Endless Enjoyment podcast, baby.
What's
we out
up?
here. It's 2026. Today's
Yes,
date
sir.
is February 24th. Almost exactly 2 years since I've met our guest here, who's coming on for his second time on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, Izzy Rage, back to the podskeee. Let's go.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thanks for having
Literally,
me.
I think it was almost exactly 2, because today's Audrey's birthday, so shout
Is
out
it?
to her.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Shout
know
out Audrey Rose.
if like her party 2 years ago was
I don't
on
know
her
if it was,
birthday
yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
but if it was,
That's
then
funny.
this is literally 2 years since.
Yeah,
we
and I
met.
feel like it's been about a year since I was on the podcast last time, too.
No, almost 2 years, bro. Because
Has
that was
it?
around the time like we were recording "Let's Go," which
Was it?
2024.
Really?
So I think it was.
Yeah,
like,
that's one of the first times I brought you to the home studio. Yeah, sure, home
so
studio.
it was like spring of 24
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
had you on the pod originally.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
So for those who don't know you, I would say a little bit about yourself.
That's what's up. Yeah, my name is Izzy Rage. I make a style of music that I call HYPERPUNK. It blends in punk vocals with instrumentals that are influenced by dubstep, drum and bass, hardstyle. I've been making music since I was little, but around COVID era, when I was in high school, it's around 15, 16, I started producing on FL Studio, started uploading my videos to Instagram, caught attention from a few people, got involved with a company called the Melody app where I produce instrumentals for this, basically this loop sharing app. In high school, I created a record label called Musicians Connect. It was a club that we had after school. We recorded an entire album completely in the school, completely made by the student body. They've released an album every year. I think they're on the 6th year right now, and they're in Beaver Creek, Ohio. That's my hometown. I went to college at MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro. Got my degree in audio production with a minor in marketing, and with especially in social media when I was 20. Moved to Nashville, spent some time in Nashville, made some rounds there, became a staff member at Helping Her Music Evolve in East Nashville. I was an apprentice there, then they hired me on their staff member stuff. That's where I introduced Vinny to and a bunch of people to the Home Network. Was doing performances here and there. My last performance was Eat Me, Drink Me. I think that was October of 2024, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Then I want to say around June of last year, I took a big hit with my mental health and needed to go home to family in Ohio to spend some time there, work on saving up some money, and just loving life again, ultimately.
So one way to talk about a lot of different things about
Oh yeah, we
yourself.
can get into any of that. Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to, like, if you go back and watch the first episode that Izzy was on, that gets like more detailed into like your music and how you got started with the name Izzy Rage and what like the hyperpunk warrior stuff means to you. And I think, yeah, like you mentioned that you want to talk a little bit more about just life in this episode.
Sure.
So if you want to go check out the other episode that we had Izzy on, go check that out.
I will say, and we can get into the music as well, but I did release an album last year called Hyperpunk Warrior.
Yeah.
That's my debut project, 10 tracks on it, and I've got a couple music videos coming up on the way.
Hell yeah.
For that. Yep.
Fire album. Go stream it.
Thank you. Yep, go straight.
And so I, like Izzy mentioned, that he introduced me to like the Helping Our Music Evolve space and the people there. So we had originally recorded Let's Go around that time that we had met almost 2 years ago now with Marcus and Exclusive.
Yeah.
And then later on that year, we recorded 2 more songs that will be coming out this year. We just finished them finally the other day.
So happy we did that.
2 Hype and Friday Night. Those will be coming out this year, also recorded by Izzy. And then you also recorded a couple songs with Marcus as well.
Yep.
Sex on the Beach, Taking the Time.
Yep. We need to get in the studio again, me and Marcus. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
been a while. A lot of people I need to reconnect back with in the city for sure. Since I've been back here for a couple of days, I've had several people be like, "Bro, how long are you gonna be in here? Like, can we get in a studio session together?" Like, I was with Ultraviolet the other day at home too. Good homie of mine. Who else have I been with? I went to the Cymatics event yesterday at a night we met up with some people. Fishkin, Scotty the Third, name a few. It was a really fun time, bro. It was the first time I performed in like over a year, and it was fucking awesome. Like, I had a lot of people go up to me and they're like, "Bro, you had the best performance of the night," and I was like so humbled by that.
Yeah, so that was like a producer meetup, or
Yeah, it was a producer meetup. Wasn't as big as it was last year, but it's still a good time.
you went last year too?
Yep.
So that's what I wanted to ask. Next was, since we last saw you on the podcast, a lot has happened. Where you said that you had to go home, stuff like what like, if you want to go into more detail of like what has happened over the last like 2 years since we last spoke on the pod. Obviously, we're good friends and we talk more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm definitely willing to be open, and like one of the things that I aspire to do as an artist is to really kind of like I want to put my life out there to be someone that people can relate to. And I'm not afraid to be an open book. I'm not afraid to talk about my demons. I'm not afraid to talk about some of the mistakes I've made in my life, because what a lot of artists are missing right now, and what people are really craving for, is like true authenticity in artists. Like, what do we have in X and Peep and Juice, and why do those legends still exist today, even though they've been gone for more than half a decade now? Is because like they were perfectly flawed humans, and they put that shit out in their music and in their artwork, and that's what people got attached to. So kind of like delving into like what my mental health journey has been, I've had a lot of things that have gone like undiagnosed and under the radar for a long time. Like people like you and me, we kind of grew up in an age where our parents kind of disregarded mental health quite a bit. They're the generation that's like a post-baby boomer. So they're kind of removed from a lot of sort of like that wartime trauma, but it still like lingers in their family. And they've been kind of told to just kind of like accept the system that they're in for the most part. Whereas kids like us, like in Gen Z, like we're a lot more aware of like what's actually going on in the world. I feel like we have a greater sensitivity. Obviously, there's a large percentage of Gen Z that's a neurodivergent. So we like see and we feel things that most people in older generations can't really see or feel. So delving into like what I have personally struggled with in my life, I've had ADHD, OCD, dealt with a lot of intrusive thoughts, definitely was like autistic, and no one ever like bothered to check me for that. It led to a lot of turmoil in my family too, because I was a military kid. We moved around like every 3 years, so we went from place to place to place, which made fitting in really hard. I was never around a consistent group of people. My teachers never understood me. I got into a lot of fights with my teachers, and I didn't like the school system. I had a difficult relationship with God growing up in the Catholic Church. And so I had a lot working against me as a kid, but I always channeled that through the artwork. Like I always had my music. I always had my lyric pad, and I was posting on SoundCloud like as early as like 2013. Like I was on that shit. And I just always had like that music was always like my best friend. Creativity was always my best friend. So the thing is like art can carry you, but it can only carry you for so long until things start to creep up. And something that I realized is as an adult, a lot of things that were kind of lingering around you as a kid start to really manifest. One of those things for me was borderline personality disorder. It's a pretty rare condition. It's more common nowadays. It's mostly common in women. It's like for every 9 women diagnosed with borderline personality, you have 1 man diagnosed with borderline. We don't know a lot about men with borderline personality disorder. That's because men's mental health often gets overlooked, and so there's not a lot of knowledge about that. And like when I say like I have borderline personality disorder, like that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, and it's really hard to narrow down because it often gets misdiagnosed with a lot of things. So it often gets misdiagnosed as bipolar, which I think I also have. It gets misdiagnosed as sometimes as people being self-destructive. That's a big like symptom of having borderline. But there's a lot of things that contribute, to it, and you go through a lot of. Honestly, I'll just be straight about it. It's just a lot of bullshit, and eventually that bullshit just leads up and leads up and leads up until you're just like, I can't fucking take it anymore, and you fucking have a breakdown, and that's exactly what happened to me. Was in June of last year, I was putting together my first album. I had a lot of pressure on me. A lot of people were building me up to be like this huge superstar, like you're going to be like a once-in-a-generation type talent. You've got all the resources that you need. You've got all the music, that your music's good. You know the people. You know how to perform. Like everything is set up for you. Like all you got to do is just do it, right? But I felt a lot of pressure to like instantly succeed, because something that a lot of people told me when they listened to my music is like, oh my God, music, like, or oh my God, Izzy, like your music is so damn good, like it's gonna pop off. Like your first song is gonna go mega viral, and your first music video is gonna go mega viral, and in your first performance you're gonna have 100 people like clamoring at you and all this stuff. And so it set these really high expectations, and when I couldn't meet those expectations, I tended to like hate myself over it. I would like have these performances and be like, oh, like I got like, 40 people chanting the words to my song, but no one was like getting in the mosh pit. Or like I released this song and I promoted it, but it only got like 200 streams, not 10,000 streams or 100,000 streams. And so I kept setting these impossible goals for myself and basing all of my worth on my accomplishments. It's something that honestly I get a lot from my dad, because he's a very accomplishment-based guy. And that's how he shows love for his family, is through, providing for them and by achieving a lot. But for me, because of that, I missed out on a lot of that like emotional intelligence and like understanding that my life is so much more than what I achieve in life, because all that shit can be taken away from you, bro. Like I may get I may get fucking like lung cancer or some shit, or I might have my vocal cords blow out one day. I may not be able to speak. I may not be able to write music. I may get brain damage. I may get a brain tumor. Like all that shit can be taken away from you, like instantaneously. So you got to pay attention to like the things that really fucking matter in this life. One of those things, bro, is friendship. Like I value the friendship that we have. Art is a real thing, and art needs to be like, if you are creating art, if you're a creator, you have a duty to create, no matter who you're creating it for, whether that's creating it for yourself, creating it for an audience, or creating it for God himself. And if you're not creating, then you have a responsibility to appreciate art and make it something beautiful, right? Because if there's no one to appreciate art, then there's, what does that mean for the people who create it, right? So those are some of the various things I started to realize, and it took me a really long time to grow up, like a really long time. And I feel like I can say it's hard for me to call myself a man now, but I feel more like a man than I do as a boy.
I hear you, bro. And I'm a few years older than you. I'm still like in many ways refusing to grow up. In a lot of ways, I feel like I've matured a lot over the last few years, and starting to become the man that I'm meant to be. But at the same time, like, especially just like the life I live, I still kind of live like a kid sometimes. Like, look at my room, dude. It's
exactly.
It's fun. It's not like some just boring ass fucking adult thing. Sorry, I'm kind of going off.
No, you're good. Like,
but I appreciate your friendship too, bro. And yeah, life can be just so much. Like, it can be so overwhelming for all of us. Yeah,
growing into an adult is a really scary thing. Like. It is a really scary thing, because you're like, how am I supposed to like conform to this world? And especially like as a person who's like very neurodivergent and very artsy, it feels really hard to find your place in this world, especially when art is so commodified nowadays and everything is so instantaneous and you're competing with everybody. And you're like, you put your heart and your soul into your project and you're just like left wondering sometimes like who even cares about it? Like, why am I even doing this? Like, why am I sinking my time into it? But then you start to imagine your life without music and without art, and you're like, oh, that's why I'm doing it. Because without it, it's so empty. I mean, that's what I did. Like, I basically quit music for like a solid like 3-4 months. Like, I couldn't make music. I couldn't make art. I didn't want to do any of it. I was ready to throw my life away, bro. I was like, seriously.
Just when they thought you were out.
Huh?
It pulled you back in.
It really pulled me back in. No, like, music like legitimately gave me like a reason to like live again, and like, I think it came down to kind of that authenticity, because like I fucking dealt with a lot of loss, bro. Like loss from my best friend, loss from Tennessee, loss from all my homies who I left, and it was really like what happened was a trauma response. Because at the time I was talking with a life coach, and she was kind of breaking down some like parts of my past and like all this stuff, and like everywhere I've lived, right, I've only lived there for 3 or 4 years. So like I had lived in Tennessee for I think 3.5 years, maybe 4 years. So like I was getting that like internal pull to just be like, you need to abandon everything. Like you need to move on to the next place, and you need to like let go of all this stuff. And as soon as I left, like I instantly regretted it. But then my mind kept up making excuses as to why I couldn't come back. Like, oh my God, I couldn't find a new job. Oh my God, like I couldn't live with my roommate. I won't be good enough to make music, or like people have already forgotten about me and they've already moved on. And then when I came back for a few days, like I realized that no, man, this place like hasn't changed at all. Like people are still here for me. Like I'm still there for people. Like, and things are all good. But like it was a really fucking dark time, man. No, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was in, I ended up in, it was fucking daily panic attacks. Ended up in 3 mental hospitals, had 3 suicide attempts. Fucking just dark shit, bro. Like I was literally possessed by a demon. It was named Beelzebul, and it would tell me, like, the nefarious thing about it was it would and Beelzebul is the demon of I believe it's envy and rage, or envy and wrath, I think is what it is. And it would speak to me and it would speak through me, and I would destroy things. Only my things though, because it would never, like, I can never bring myself to actually like wreck like other people's things. I was living with my family at the time, but it would tell me to like destroy things and wreck my room and fucking like grab knives and shit and like have all these psychotic thoughts of like harming people and like really dark stuff. Not that I was capable of actually doing any of that stuff, but like the thoughts were so fucking pervasive. And I was really at the point where it's like, man, like, am I a dangerous person? Like, do I need to take myself out? Because the scariest thing I heard, bro, was when I was in my first mental hospital, I met this other girl who had borderline. She was like, the average lifespan of someone with borderline personality disorder is 26 years.
That's crazy.
That's how often those people kill themselves. Like, that's how intense life is for those kinds of people. And so to get that diagnosis, I was like, damn, like, on one hand, I'm very relieved to be able to call it something, you know, because for so long it's been like so overlooked and I haven't been able to like call it a name. But on the other hand, I'm like, man, like, what does this imply about myself? And I'm still at that point in my life where I'm like, man, I don't know how things will go. Like, I don't think I will have a natural death. I think either someone will kill me or I'll kill myself somehow. I don't hope for that, but like I just kind of feel it. It's just like my life is very chaotic, but that's the best way I know how to go about things. And being docile and trying to tame me down with medication, it just hasn't worked. Like I've been on medication, I've been on antipsychotics and mood stabilizers and antidepressants, and like it's really sad to be on that stuff, bro, because it's like to take something artificial just to feel quote unquote normal, but even it's not normal. It's like, the way I described it to people I know is it's as if like it's as if you're like driving a car and you take medication and it's like traffic, like it just becomes a traffic jam. Like the neural links aren't there. So like, yeah, I may not be having as many intrusive thoughts, but I'm also not having as many creative thoughts. I may not be getting super emotional about stuff, but man, it does feel good to cry every once in a while. So it takes your moods, like this is what the mood stabilizer does. Like here's like your dopamine, your euphoria, here's your depression and your anguish, and it'll do this to it. Right?
Right. So you're only like capable of feeling so much.
A little bit. And then I started to wonder, I'm like, is this how most people feel? Like, is this how numb most people go around their lives feeling all the time? Like, is this normal? Is this what it's supposed to be? Like, and I just couldn't accept it. So like, I was going to therapy and I had a good therapist, but then he gave me some bad advice that backfired, and now I don't really like trust therapy anymore. Not that I'll never ever go back to therapy, but I just like feel like it's kind of rocky right now. And I just decided, like, in that moment, in that moment, I was like, and I do not condone this, by the way. Like, I do not suggest this to most people. This is, what I'm doing is very dangerous. I was just like, I'm quitting my medication. I'm leaving the house for a few days. I'm not going to therapy for a while, and I'm just gonna focus on being me again. And like, I've never felt so free in my life.
And how long ago was that?
It's been about 2 weeks. And that time span has been crazy. Like, I met a girl. We're talking about getting married already. Like, it's just, we just like hit it off so fast, and like we're like so made for each other. And she's got a very interesting life, a lot of stuff that I can relate to. And right now I'm kind of keeping our relationship kind of under wraps just for personal reasons. But no, like she's my ride or die. And I kind of took refuge where she was at, because she was staying out of college, and I was feeling kind of trapped in the house. And one day, like, and this is after like an event happened where, again, my BPD kind of got triggered, and I did some really stupid shit that made someone probably not want to talk to me for the rest of my life, which is something that's happened several times. Like, I'm very used to that. But it happened again, and I was like, man, I just feel like such a piece of shit. And that's the thing with like bipolar and borderline. It's like you either feel like a god or you feel like the worst piece of shit in the world. Like look at Kanye West, for example. Like he's a perfect fucking example of that. And he does stuff that even he doesn't understand most of the time. So.
And then apologize for it.
And then apologize for it. And you're like, and it's like when you're doing that, what people don't understand is like when you're doing stuff in the moment that is like so chaotic and so unhinged, it's like sometimes that's the only way you can feel like you're yourself.
Because you know it's like your free will to freak out if you want to.
Exactly. It's like, and sometimes you, like in this society, you just like feel so trapped. Sometimes you just have to crash out. Like something like I don't know, like a good crash out every once in a while, it could be healthy.
Right, depending on what that crash out looks like.
Right.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
And I agree even with when it comes to like expressing myself through music or being on stage or whatever, just like absolutely going fucking crazy because that's like therapy for me.
Yeah. Man, when I'm performing at the Cymatics event, bro, and I was like letting loose and dancing, I was like, everything just disappears, bro. It's just like something else just completely takes over, and you're just experiencing yourself in that moment. It's just so awesome.
It's a flow state.
It's a flow state.
I felt that like performing at Cobra like 2 weeks ago, dude. Yeah. I just felt like I was in the zone, and it was just coming out of me, like, and I didn't really have to like try too hard to let it. Besides, like near the end of the set, like I was starting to like really give it and starting to lose my my breath, just like trying to keep up with it, and then you start to feel it then.
Yeah, definitely.
But man, I mean that was a lot. I mean I'm here to listen, dude. I'm glad that you are. I appreciate your honesty and openness, dude, because it can help other people. I think that's absolutely. Like one thing, like to talk about your struggles is brave because there's people out there that also need to hear are also going through the same thing.
Yeah. You have any questions for me? Like look, what can I contribute, bro? Like, what do you have?
Man, it's a lot to think about. I mean, one thing that I thought about too is just like when you talked about maybe not living up to the expectations that people have of you, or brings me to think about like that you just because those things didn't happen right away doesn't mean they're not necessarily true. Like I am guilty of being one of those people that thinks you're super talented and like can be a star. And like I just don't think that maybe just because those things don't happen like right off the bat necessarily means that those things won't happen. Like, yeah, you put out a song and promoted it. I don't know how many times you promoted it, but at the end of the day, like, the album that you put out is great, dude. The thing that separates successful artists and non-successful artists, I think, is consistency. Whether how talented they are has really nothing to do. Yeah. It has something to do with it, obviously, but to me, there are artists that I don't think that are that talented that are super popular because they stay consistent and they're constantly putting themselves out there. So if you don't put yourself out there continuously and those things that you want or other people expect that should happen, like it would be nice for, and hopefully Marcus doesn't mind me bringing this up, like he made the video for Sex on the Beach. It was a great song that y'all made together and stuff, and I love that song too, but he promoted the video like once on this big ad on Instagram. And it didn't work, and he kind of just gave up after that. And he literally hasn't put out any music or promoted anything since then, dude. And I was like, well, you should also be promoting other songs. You should keep promoting Sex on the Beach, dude. It would be nice if it would just blow up and your life change forever, but that's not the case for most people. You have to continuously
the thing is, like, there's this fantasy of blowing up as an artist that's so misguided because everyone believes that, like, they'll have, like, one song that really pops off and then their whole world changes. And then you ask them, like, well, how does your world change? And I don't think they really have an answer. Because I think there's this fantasy in their head that, like, oh, like, I'll meet some, like, special agent, or I'll get signed a record deal, or I'll get a music video with someone famous, or I'll get a feature with someone famous. And it's like, bro, like, if you don't have a plan for how you're going to take the next steps, you're just going to let other people take control of you. Yeah. I mean, you see it all the time with, like, artists who, like, really pop off, who, like, end up, like, throwing their life away. Like, honestly, a good example of that I can think of is, like, Lil Uzi. You know, like I think he made like really like revolutionary music and was a really talented guy. But like over time, bro, the fucking drugs, the money, all the sex, all the people taking advantage of him, the record labels, all the stuff with Diddy coming out, Epstein file, all that stuff, like him talking about selling his soul twice to the devil, like all that shit, like it's like, bro, that shit can really corrupt you really fast. And that's honestly like what I fear most is like, I don't want to become so successful so fast because I don't know how I handle it. And like, bro, there are so many gropers in the industry just being like, I'm looking for that fresh young artist who doesn't know a thing about the industry to take advantage of. Because if they don't have anything, record labels don't provide you any value except for exposure and investment. They don't provide you any value except for knowledge that you're not willing to understand yourself. And for some people that may work. For some people they may be like, I just want to focus purely on the art. I want to focus purely on the music. So I'm going to let other people take care of stuff. Okay, well, that's fine. Better if it's your own personal team of people who you know and trust before you get famous. Because as soon as you outsource that to people who are already in the industry, they just see you as a dollar sign. They don't see you as a person. They don't see you as an artist. Look at what fucking's happened with X, bro. Look at what's fucking happened with Juice or Peep. Like, first of all, X was Drake put out a hit on X. Second of all, there's some weird shit about Juice's death, I think, as well. There's definitely some weird shit about Peep's death. Although that might have been as simple as an overdose, but like, we don't know.
Also, like, his mom, I'm pretty sure, sued the management. It was like because they were providing the drugs or.
Yep, all that stuff. But you
didn't do anything to stop it really from happening. If these people are unwell and you know they're not doing well, why continuously push them past their limits? Like,
well, and what's the common thing between all those artists is that the record labels that then take over their music fucking squeeze as much as possible as they can until there's just like nothing there anymore. And you get songs with like fucking X's tattoo artist where X has like a 5-second voice memo on it and it's released as an XXXTentacion song. And you're like, who the fuck is putting this out? Who's profiting from this anymore? It's like, if you wanted to make a lot of money as a record label, you know the first thing I would do if I was a record label executive and I had a young artist that was blowing up and taking over the industry? I'd fucking kill him. It'd make me so much money. It'd make me so much more money than if they were still alive.
And and the streams would skyrocket.
Streams would skyrocket. Merch would skyrocket. Fucking obviously like because like an artist had like think of someone like fucking like Lil Pump or Lil Skies or any of those young artists from like 2010 SoundCloud era that lasted like maybe like 3-4 years, if even that, and like their music they pop off and they go away, and then you got artists like Juice and Peep and X and like. No, you want to make sure that their music lasts a lifetime. Like they're gonna go out as legends. You know, same thing with like fucking Kurt Cobain and Janis Joplin and all the people in the 27 Club. Like whether or not those deaths were like suicides or there was something more nefarious underneath the surface. It's like there will always be people trying to take advantage of you. Always, you gotta look out for that.
Right. Man, I had something to say, but fucking. It's crazy though. Yeah, just losing so many great artists.
You ever feel like?
I'm glad that you're here, brother.
Thank you, bro.
I'm glad that you're here speaking with me. And
yeah, I am too. I was gonna say like, suicide has been such a normalized thing in our generation. It's like, it's almost like a stage of life at this point. Like I feel like every person like our age goes through a suicidal stage, and if they don't, then they come really close to it, and they have people real close to them who experience that. I thankfully, praise God, and I hope it never comes to this, but like I've not lost someone to suicide, but I've grown around people who are really close, and like trust me, I've been on like many phone calls like telling my friend to like get off a bridge or like call an ambulance or some shit like that. It's like very scary. Yeah.
Man. Moment of silence for all the people we lost.
Absolutely.
While I gather my thoughts. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot to process. What are you feeling like today, and like what are your plans like moving forward with your just life and music as well?
I think I'm learning to let go of success. I made an idol out of success, and I placed that before my own mental health and like what God wanted for me. So like that's the first thing I'm kind of reconciling is like I don't need to be a superstar to feel successful in life. Like I've picked up bartending. It's a good gig. I like doing it a lot. It brings me a lot of joy, and that's my way to get money. And so I'm not, now I'm not stressed about like, oh damn, like I have to pop off in the music or I'm working at fucking like Amazon or Chick-fil-A for the rest of my life. Like I don't have that pressure anymore. So it's been very, very freeing. That said, I'm still going to pursue music. Like I said, I got some music videos coming up. Me and my girlfriend are going to shoot some stuff together. I might spend some time in New York with her actually because she's going to move to New York over summer, and I thought that might be a good opportunity to kind of build a bridge between New York and Nashville and perform there a few times. And also get to experience the city because like Nashville's a small city. Yeah, it really is. Like a lot of people know.
One of the craziest cities in the world.
It is a very dense city though, and a lot of people are happy here. Like a lot of people are really happy here, and I love it. And like that's like ultimately like I'm going to live in Nashville long term. That's the plan, and I'll probably move back here definitely by the end of this year. Maybe over summer, maybe even sooner than that. I'm not really sure. I'm still figuring stuff out. But I want to branch into more stuff as an artist. Like I'm writing a light novel, gonna turn into a comic, make an anime, more into the Hyperpunk Warrior stuff. Been learning some AI tools, been learning CapCut. What else? I want to start a video series called Angel Talk. Street interview style, just going around having real conversations with people about spirituality and mental health, art, creativity, a little bit of politics, but that's kind of the undertone rather than the main center of it all. What else do I want to do, man? A lot of stuff I want to do. I want to travel.
Feel that?
Yeah, me and my brother are going to go to Japan. Next year. I want to go see a waterfall. Me and a homie are going down to fucking Dollywood. It'll be a good time going to Smoky Mountains.
Where else do you want to go? Anything on your bucket list?
Dubai. I've always been like so amazed by the architecture there. Definitely want to go there. I want to go to Saudi Arabia. There is Saudi Arabia is a really interesting place because like as Westerners we've been told like all these narratives about like how Muslims can't build better societies and they're so retroactive and all that stuff. And then you look at a place like Saudi Arabia and you're like, holy crap, like this whole place is like beautiful. The architecture there is beautiful. The schools and the mosques and all that stuff is so beautiful. And you're like, maybe they don't have the most like freedom of press and like and rights and all that stuff, but damn, they can build some really impressive stuff. There's a place there called Qiddiya where they built a Six Flags amusement park. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's this roller coaster there called Falcon's Flight. It smashed all the records of I'm super into roller coasters. It smashed all the records, bro. I think it's something like 670 feet tall. That's 200 feet taller than the previous record holder.
That's wild.
I think it reaches 160 miles an hour, which is like 20 miles an hour faster than Formula Rossa in Dubai, which is the fastest coaster. I think it's got 13,000 feet of track, which is like the second place for that is Steel Dragon 2000 in Japan, and that's got like I think 8,000 feet. So smash that by 5,000 feet, almost an entire mile more. It's insane, bro. I have to ride that shit before I die, bro. Yeah.
That's exhilarating. Dude, I love roller coasters. There's a funny picture of me and my cousins on Bizarro from Six Flags back in the day.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah,
my cousin's is bawling his eyes out.
I was super into Cedar Point. Best coaster I've ever ridden is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point by RMC. That's amazing. What else there? Millennium Forest, Gatekeeper, both solid rides. Kings Island is pretty solid too. That's my home park. Like we're about an hour away from that where I live in Ohio. Dollywood's pretty decent. I want to go to California because Six Flags Magic Mountain is definitely on. California's on my bucket list for sure, bro. I want to feel like Cali sun.
I loved it, bro.
I want to feel like Cali sun. I want to see the palm trees, go to the beach, see the redwoods. Fucking California's a huge place,
I would say it's massive. Like it's just so long up the whole fucking West Coast, pretty much.
Yeah, dude. You could make California into basically 3 or 4 states if you wanted to. Like truly.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be going back out there next year probably.
Where else do I want to go? I want to go back to Florida. Go to Epic Universal's new theme park down there. Florida's nice. I lived there for a while. Vegas is also. I'd love to go to the Sphere in Vegas. Actually, take some psychedelics. Go see a rock concert.
I wish I could see the Eagles there, bro. I want to see the Eagles so bad.
Yeah.
At Sphere. They weren't playing there when I went a couple months ago. I went to Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Said Dubai already. Tokyo. Due for a trip to Europe for sure.
Yeah,
love to see the history there.
I'm going back to Italy this year for the first
time.
I
love to go to Italy. Their architecture is beautiful.
I was 13 years old last time I went to Italy.
Wow.
14 years have passed, so longer than I was even alive at that point.
Wow.
Which is crazy. I can't wait to fucking
go. Yeah, I got to go back to where you're from.
Yes, sir. This is the year.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Shout out, my homie Andrew lives out there. I'm gonna spend a few days with him, and then also like one of my relatives out there is getting married. So
nice. I was gonna say I definitely want to go back to the Caribbean. I went to the Caribbean over summer with my family, to a place called Turks and Caicos. And it was amazing. I wish I just experienced more of the culture there. Because you got the hotels and you got the beach and you got the swimming pools and you got the food and the bars and whatnot. But it's no man. I want to meet with the people, go out to the shops, go to the locally owned restaurants. Enough with the fucking touristy shit, bro. I want to experience a different part of the world.
Hell yeah, man. That's all I really want to do is make music, perform, and travel. That's
so
I think that it goes back to defining what success means to you. Everyone has these ideas of the music takes off, that means this or that or whatever. Success means to me just to make enough money to be able to do those things. If I can live comfortably and travel and perform and I'm lucky enough that I'm doing my thing right now and it's enough, I'm getting by, but if the music can start adding some supplemental income and become more of a full-time thing than a side thing, that I think
Yeah, you do. I mean, the big thing, I'll say this to a lot of artists watching this, is I caught you saying if. You gotta say when.
When, yeah.
You gotta say when. You gotta say when the music pops off. When it starts making money, when I start touring the world, when I start doing this stuff, bro. Because if you say if, you're leaving it up to fate.
Right.
But you're the manifester.
And so I live with that mentality, and I try to catch myself when I'm saying that stuff. But because it is a matter of deciding kind of the life that you're going to live and that these things are going to happen. You're just waiting for them, or just know that they're coming when it's ready, when time's ready. And that's something I want to bring up too. It's you mentioned that, sometimes when you're younger, people might not necessarily know what to do with fame. I feel the older I get, the more I'm going to be able to handle it.
Yeah, definitely.
And be responsible with it. All I really want to do is pay off my student loans.
Yep.
Have my own place to live.
Yep.
And shit, and like I said, travel and spend time with my family and friends. That's what's important. And enjoy the music that I'm creating. I always try to create things that I will have fun performing.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about just experiencing people, and I can do that in many ways. If I like I said, I could lose my vocal cords tomorrow, but it's all about just connection with people, bro. It's we're all just the universe re-experiencing itself. We're all parts of the original star seed, and we all come from the same place. And I've learned one of the biggest things that I've matured is I've learned how to get through this superiority complex that I had for a long time, as an artist. Because again, when you say oh, I can see things, I can feel things that other people can't feel, I can express my emotions in a way that a lot of people can't understand their own emotions, and look at all these sheep living this comfortable lifestyle set out for them. It's easy to kind of fall into that oh, I'm an artist and everyone else is beneath me. It's a very easy mistake to make. I definitely made that, and I started to correct myself, and I'm bro, what works for people will be different for everyone. Not everyone wants to be a famous musician. Not everyone wishes the world was the way they wanted the world to be. I'm just so humbled to even be able to create art, for God's sake, or to even have that outlet, because I don't know what I'd do without it. I'd probably be gone, honestly. I just think back to the most recent songs I've made. just kind of venting my frustrations and like, you know, like I have these obsessive thoughts in my head about like all these mistakes I've made, and when I put on my music, I'm able to like let go of that. And that's what I really want people to understand about me and my music is like I want you to like fucking feel your frustrations and feel your anguish and feel your trauma and be able to channel that into something you can dance to. And like you're literally translating energy. You're taking negative energy and you're putting it to a rhythm. You're taking chaos and you're organizing it into patterns. You're taking heartbreak and you're turning it into euphoria when you decide to crank up that volume and dance along to your track. Is like you're turning something that initially was such a negative experience into fond memories. And that's what I really want people to take away when they listen to my music.
It helps like let go of those frustrations, like when you're literally shaking it out when you're dancing. And
Yep. Yeah, you forget about everything else. It's just pure motion. So I call it emotion. Yeah.
Energy and motion.
Energy and motion.
And I was lucky enough, like when we performed, you know, at the Cobra the other week, you know, it wasn't a crazy crowd or anything, but we had a great time. And even like one of the people in the crowd was just so like into it and was literally brought her to tears that she was enjoying herself so much and like she could forget about her problems for a little bit. And that was like, dude, if I can make one person feel like that. Well, it's just to be able to help one person, you know, is a win, dude. Like if one, I'm helping myself by doing this therapeutic exercise. If I can help anybody
other people, Well, I'll tell you what, there was one girl who I met through an online therapy group. And I wasn't promoting my music at all at this time, but I shared it with her anyways because she asked what I did, and I was like, hey, I put out an album. And like a couple months go by, she hits me up out of the blue, and she's like, hey, I just want to say I listened to your album HYPERPUNK Warrior like almost every day. It's got some of my favorite songs on it. Just I feel your message of like, you know, translating your frustration to something positive and being yourself, and I just want to let you know that like you're my favorite artist.
You could have many people saying that if you continually put yourself out there.
That meant everything in the world to me.
The fact that you were even able to do it to one.
Yeah. Yep. Because I know what that's like. You know, I listened to a lot of underground artists growing up, and I was like, I don't care about their popularity. I'm like, I may be their only like biggest fan, but like that.
Some people take pride in like, oh, I found this person before they blew up.
Exactly. Or if they never blow up, you know, that's even better sometimes.
Like,
yeah.
It's like, this is
here's my little secret. Yeah.
My dirty little secret.
I'll tell you my dirty little secret. You went to see them, didn't you?
I don't know who sings that song.
You never seen it? Oh.
Who sings that song? Is it fucking...
All American Rejects.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Really? Okay.
But they were doing like the house like show tour recently. Was that them?
Yeah. That was pretty cool. I definitely want to be
those kind of vibes.
I definitely want to be performing more at house venues, bro. That's where it's at. Like fuck the big venues, bro. Like going to a house show, having like shots with strangers and smoking and listening to a bunch of shitty music. And
I miss those vibes where we did that in college, like when I was coming up, like first started performing and shit. Right. And then of course my junior and senior year got ruined by COVID, so it's like, dude, we kind of missed out on the opportunities to really do that shit. We got one good show the weekend of graduation, which was lit time, but
that's up.
I wish we had more opportunities to do that. And that's why I still I'm 27, but I still feel like a college kid because I still have so much energy and like frustration from that COVID era that still needs to be released.
Yeah, I feel you definitely.
And yeah, I think just my music will go well with the younger generations coming up, and like I want to fucking like, I don't know, do like a college tour and like perform across the country wherever we can go with like people that are ready to fucking turn up and have a good time.
Yeah. You got me sentimental over here, man.
Yeah, I know. I miss
sentimental.
But you know, we have a lot of great times. I think that's what's a hard part about growing up. We talked about how growing up is hard. Is that you don't really know that you're in those days. Yeah. When by the time they're gone, you're like, oh shit, dude. That's why I try to be as present and like slow down and enjoy this part of my journey, because I know there's gonna be parts of it that I'm gonna miss in the future. Yeah, and we will get old one day, you know? It's like that's the hardest part about being in your 20s, bro, is it's that first, it's like, it's not like a midlife I think like I had kind of a midlife crisis, but like it's like, damn, like one day, it's not really like, damn, one day I'm gonna die quite yet, but it's like, damn, one day I'm gonna get older and I'm not gonna be able to do all the shit that I do, you know? Right.
But, you know, that's made me so much more appreciative of the time I have. And the other thing I've realized, bro, is like memories last a lifetime. They really do. And they get more, they become more valuable as they age. And that's why I always say life is your mere contemplation of it. Like, if you're not meditating, if you're not reflecting, if you're not capturing those moments, then you're not really here. You have to be doing that stuff. I always suggest to people, keep a diary or do voice memos or do vlogs, blogs or podcasts. Exactly.
Right.
Make
then
music.
we don't have to just rely on our memory of this. Like, we
Right.
can go back and watch it, and I think that's one of the best things about. Even like when I miss some of my friends from home or whatever, I'll watch one of the episodes that they're on, and it'll like bring me back to like having them around. And the journey, man, it's tough being on like your own path when, you know, you got a lot of people that you care for. There's a lot of people that I care for that I haven't seen in a long time. But it's when I do spend those times with them, like over Christmas, or I just went to Florida a couple weeks ago. Like, I try to take moments during that to be present and be actively like try to remember this shit, because just like, you know, time just keeps flying by and we keep getting older, and you also just never know when you're gonna lose people. Or
That's facts. This is the one thing I'm learning, bro, is like you can lose people through death, you can lose people through just like something fucking happens. And you're just, but the important thing, bro, is like you got to be mature about that shit, and like you can't tell yourself, oh, like I hated this person all along, and like their memory isn't worth anything to me. Like, I cherish the people I've lost more than I think some of the people who are still around sometimes. I shouldn't say it like that, but like I cherish them. I cherish them almost. It's like, you know, what's that saying I'm looking for? Like, you only know what you have once it's gone. You know. It's sort of like that, like, oh my God, like this person was so important to me and I wish I had like held them closer when I was around them. But then, you know, the only thing you can do at that point is to cherish them in the present moment, even if there's someone who hates you now. Or maybe, you know, you're at a point where you can't talk with them. You're just like, because you spent however much time with that person, you spent however many weeks or months or years with that person, and you're like, I was a different person then, they were a different person then. We went through this common experience together and enjoyed it, and you know, we may never have times like that again. It's important to never say never. You know, there's some people in my life who I definitely would like to reach back out, but I realize that may be a few years before that happens again, or it may never happen at all. You know, but for what it's worth, I'm glad I had them in my life, and they definitely, like, I carry a part of them with me.
I feel you, man. I can relate to that. Damn. We're getting sentimental. But yeah, life is precious, man. You just gotta. It's good to have like just a positive outlook, even like when things don't go the way you want to with, you know, relationships or whatever it may be. But yeah, I'm just learning to just cherish all the times I get to spend with, especially like my family I don't get to see often, or like I'm very lucky my grandparents are still alive, my dad's parents. Mm-hmm. And it's like when I was in Florida, like I took my grandmother to church that Sunday.
Nice.
Because I knew she would love it, and she was overjoyed.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, when am I ever going to have an opportunity, especially in Florida? I mean, but it was nice to just spend that time, but it was just one-on-one with me and her, and precious to me.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, how are we feeling today, brother?
Feeling
was
really
this
good,
conversation helpful for you to just speak about everything that's been going on?
Absolutely. I hope it's helpful for other people. You know, I really do. Like I said, I try to be an open book about this shit. Like, people, you know, have all the opportunity to fucking like use this shit against me if they want. I'm like, I'm willing to fucking accept that, because it's like, if I can help one person, like, I'll take as much harm as, you know, comes my way ultimately. Like, it's worth it. It is.
I hear you, bro, and I believe and have faith that you will help one person out there, if not many, 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 many more.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Enough to keep going. I think it's, you know, sometimes better to keep things on the shorter side and just leave things open. If there's anything that we forgot, the next time we speak to each other, we can start diving more into it.
Yep.
And like I said, I just appreciate your authenticity is unmatched, bro. Like,
Thank
I
you,
feel
bro.
like you really just let it all out and are not afraid of what people might think of you. And it's badass, man. I think your music's great. And you don't really want to be told, but you are a star, and it doesn't, whatever that mean, it does not have to mean anything other than that.
Yeah, dude, bro. Something that I've realized, you can be a star in so many ways, bro. Like teachers are stars, nurses are stars, doctors are stars,
Friends are stars.
friends
bro.
are
You're just
stars.
shining, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you're just providing that light and hope, and like, yeah, man. I mean,
yeah. You don't have to be super rich and famous to be respected in this world. Like all you have to do is show up for people. Show up for yourself first, but then start showing up for people.
and I respect it, bro. You were all. I feel like everything that you've talked about is all because you want to be a better version of yourself, and you're struggling to find what that means. Or
it's hard too. Like there's kind of a paradox of like self-improvement is such a paradox because it's like you have to adopt a really low self-esteem of yourself to like make improvements and be like, oh man, like I want to get better, but what does that cause me to have to like look at myself now and be like, damn, like here are all these things I can improve about myself, and it's like it's a lot of pressure sometimes.
awareness can be crippling.
It can be, yeah, but it's a gift. It's a gift that not everyone has, honestly. Like people like you and me are rare. Like to be dreamers, to be visionaries, to be not saying we're perfect by any means, but like just trying to be a better person and trying to show up with people. Like not everyone does that. It's a rare thing. This is important. It's precious. It's holy.
Holy moments.
Holy moment, yeah. Shout out the Creator, God. Shout out Jesus. Thank you.
Shout out to him for dying for our sins.
That's right.
Because we are imperfect people, that's for sure. Like that's what went to church on Ash Wednesday last week, and that's like just pretty much acknowledging like that you're not perfect. Like going there.
I'm so happy. I'm kind of stepping more into my spirituality and like being more open about being a Christian because it's like I see the world needs it more than ever, and like whenever I get to talk about that, bro. I don't even know if I want to get into this now, but I'll mention it and maybe you can cut it up. But I actually saw the Holy Spirit with my own eyes. I was sent a vision.
And what did this look like, or when was this?
So I was at home and I went out.
Not home studio.
Not home studio. No. I was in Ohio. I was at my family's home, and I went out on a walk. And there's a lake, and there's a bench, and I sat on the bench. And I'm just looking up at the sky, and just something sort of takes over me, and I start rapping. I start rapping at the moon. The moon's out, and I'm doing a little freestyle, and I'm thanking God for all that He's given me, and I'm like, make me a better person, God. Like I want to cherish You, I want to praise You, I want to spread the gospel. And as I'm saying this stuff, and as I'm looking out at the moon, this dove appears out of thin air, but it's not like any dove. It's got a glow underneath it. Like it's got an aureole around it. And it appears out of nowhere, flies over the moon, and then just vanishes. And I checked my eyesight, and I was like, I did not just hallucinate that. Like, that shit was like the Holy Spirit. I swear to God it was. And every time I've mentioned that story, I've mentioned it to so many of my friends. They're like, if they're Christian, they're like, bro, like you're so gifted to have been sent that. Other people like, man, like I don't know if I believe that story, but like, it's good for you that you had that spiritual moment. And there's other people who are like, I'm not even Christian, but that's an amazing story. And like, there's something there. Like, I'm glad you saw that. It's just, since that experience, bro, it's like whenever life is going hard for me and I feel like I'm in a rough spot, I just remember the dove. It's like, God's got me.
I have a crazy story that I want to tell you off camera, but
okay, yeah, sure.
One that made you smile.
Yeah.
I just want to say, bro, I'm so glad that our paths crossed 2 years ago. Literally, exactly. I'm pretty sure, which is wild that you're here today, and just kind of works out. When we were in the studio the other day on 222, I think the time we began recording Friday night, 2 Hype was like 8/8, and then we recorded again on 11/11, and it's been since.
Oh, yeah. And then we looked at, and then we got back on 222. Yeah, so it's like we looked at the angel numbers to this. You remember what they mean?
It was like, I think it said something with like collaboration
okay.
Which makes sense.
So first there's 808, which is right 808, like boom boom bass, and then 1111 angel number. Angel number 1111 represents faith, self-love, finding your inner truth, and connecting the source energy. 222 angel number. 222 is considered to be an angel number that is said to represent harmony, collaboration, and good fortune in relationships.
Which is dope too. That brings us together, and like that dope harmony you did on the song.
Yeah. Oh, that was so fun.
So yeah, I'm excited. So anything you want to say about like the recording process of like the more recent tracks that we made, or how you feel about those 2 songs?
I feel great about those 2 songs. Probably like some of my favorite mixes I've ever done is a blast recording with you. I think we should definitely do like some music videos and whatnot to it for sure. I did want to mention kind of like sort of the stuff that like I'm working on right now is like I'm transitioning more into a style that I call emo rage. I want to bring back emotional music into hip hop because I feel like it's lacking a lot in that sphere. And I've been doing like a lot of screamo shit. A lot of very emotional stuff, and it's like when you've gone through the stuff that I've gone through, like I'm thankful for it because it allows me to relate to a lot more people and allows me to make better art, be more creative, and have a more extensive palette to what I can make, and just experimenting with new sounds, doing something different. I truly feel that like. I'm on the cusp of creating something truly unique.
I believe it, bro. I mean, you have such a unique sound to you with like the more modern like production too with the Rage style, which I love, dude. And I think that many super successful artists would like be lucky to work with you, bro.
I appreciate
that. You're gonna do some crazy shit. We're really young. We got a lot of life to live, but we gotta slow down, enjoy the process where we are, and just find joy in like our normal lives and redefine what success means to us. And yeah, I just want to say that, like I said, I'm glad that our paths crossed. I'm glad we've worked together. I'm glad we're friends and that we can talk to each other about anything, and that you are enough, bro, just the way you are right now. But I love that we're both that we're constantly trying to be better versions of ourselves. And it's a never-ending journey, but we have to, you are the fucking man, just how you are.
Love you, bro. Thank
Love
you.
you too. And appreciate you coming back on the Endless Enjoyment podcast. We out here in Nashville, Tennessee, baby.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
And we'll be back. Enjoy.